business. Without further ado, I start off with the front page of the Vanguard newspaper and also moving on to other papers as time permits. My very first story off the Vanguard says Nigeria's debt heads for 180 trillion naira as Tinubu seeks 34 trillion naira new loans. Also, you find some more stories. It says federal government directs JAMB, WAEC, NECO to blacklist CBT centers, candidates guilty. Also, State of the Nation, it's embarrassing that we've politicized terrorism. Senator Owie, ex-Senate Chief Whip. And also you find here, Naira depreciates to 1,620 Naira to a dollar in parallel market. PDP to insecurity. PDP to Tinubu, insecurity, economy worsening under your watch. Abductors of 3 church members in Ondo demand 15 million naira ransom. Also, sealing of secretariat, PDP kicks as Tinubu intervenes. Gatekeepers or spectators, National Assembly's 2-year performance gap by Dakuku Peter Side. Also, some more top stories. It says here, alleged Abuja land fraud. Court orders arrest of FCTA directors, 11 others. And still on the Vanguard, federal government will ensure recovery of all stolen assets, funds, Tinubu. And we'll look at this one that says, worse than Boko Haram, how couple relabel, repackage, banned, expired injectables in Delta. Commuters groan as federal government CNG buses yet to reach northern states 2 years after Tinubu's promise. It says on the entertainment side of things, says something about Davido claps back at Sarah Martins over comments about Chioma. Take one foreign story and beyond to another paper. It says crypto investor charged with kidnapping, torturing man for wallet passwords. Headlines out of the Punch newspaper reports fresh $24 billion borrowing may balloon Nigeria's debt to 183 trillion naira. Residents crowd funds to rehabilitate dilapidated Ogun school. Industrial machine kills employee in Ogun factory. PDP neck under pressure as INEC validates Wike-backed secretary. Breaking, Saudi Arabia declares June 6 as Salah Day. It says also Nigeria versus Ghana, historic rivalry reignites under London lights. Tinubu seeks NAS approval for $21.5 billion loan, 758 billion naira pension bond. Federal government clears 200,000 passport backlogs, pay 28 billion naira debts. Chunji Ojo. There's a full text out of the Punch. It says Tinubu seeks end to bullying, pledges commitment to children welfare in the spirit of Children's Day that took place yesterday. Residents crowd fund, all right, I've taken that one. Female FRSC official kidnapped in Plateau. Ex-finance commissioner joins Osun governorship race. Panel declares North Central PDP Congress free, fair. Anambra 2025 federal might won't save you. Abga tells APC candidate. 2027 Southern Youth Group backs Tinubu for second term. Also, 2027, APC not afraid of opposition coalition, Orji Kalu. And now I move on to the Daily Post paper. Abuja explosion suicide bombing attempt targeted at Army Barracks, NEMA. Tinubu seeks NAS approval to borrow fresh $21.5 million, other external borrowing plans. ISWAP evacuates 15 bodies, abandons VBED after failed attack in Borno. We won't bow to intimidation. PDP governors dare Tinubu APC. Tribunal lawyers file suit to compel senators to refund salaries for non-performance. And some more stories. May 30, Abia Police Commissioner orders officers to protect government infrastructure. Nimet predicts thunderstorms from Wednesday. Ground rent, Bode George blast Wike says he should have paid to show loyalty. Troops neutralize bandits heading to attack Plateau communities. Tinubu appoints new governing council members for University of Abuja, University of Nigeria. Also, Saudi Arabia declares date for Eid al-Kabir. Some more politics stories. Says here, ADC urges true Democrats to resist APC emerging dictatorship as Obono Obla kicks. And lastly, says El-Rufai explains why re-electing Tinubu in 2027 is impossible. Headlines as of the Premium Times reports Nigerians, others to be affected as US suspends student visa interviews. Court jails ex-PDP chairperson's son, co-defendant 14 years for petrol subsidy fraud. Global South risks losing out as big tech crowds out local AI tools. That's in the tech world. It says suicide bomber killed, one person injured in Abuja explosion. Children's Day, FCT parents call for ban on flavored tobacco. NAFDAC uncovers fake drug factory in Delta. How man faked own kidnap, received 2 million naira ransom from family police. JAMB updates regulations as minister orders punishment of students involved in malpractice. Tinubu seeks NAS approval for 757 billion naira bond to pay retirees outstanding pension. Group asks Nigerians to demand accountability from governors, local government chairmen, and I'll take this one as the last one. I have to go on a commercial break. Police arrest couple for child trafficking, rescue 12 children. It's time for that break. Do stay with us. We'll be back in a bit for the analysis of the story. Austin Odum is on standby for that. 32 FM 94.9.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
Is that Alfie playing football in the rain?
It's Toby Chio.
My goodness. When did he grow up?
That's it with kids, so.
It's amazing how your child grows up before your eyes. Enable their thriving development with the new NAN-KID 4 with HMOs to support your child's development, probiotics, and high-quality proteins to support age-appropriate growth. NAN-KID 4. Nourish your child's potential.
Welcome to Bet Great. Bet on sports. Confirm bonus up to 350% and stand a chance to win with Bet Great. You can cash out and auto cash out whenever you want. So you're always in charge. Now casino game you want? You can pilot yourself with Bet Great on Aviator and much more. And be in cruise control. Join using promo code GOAL and get your welcome free bet. Experience these and much more in our shops or online on betgreat.com. Be great. Bet Great. Bet responsibly. Only 18 plus.
Every day when my children return from school, I don't recognize them. Hello? Do I know you?
It's us, mommy.
But these dirty, sweaty uniforms and socks, we're clean in the morning. Everything don't transform. I understand though. School is hectic. It takes energy to come home this transformed. So I make sure they have some nutritious Milo at breakfast.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo. In the mind of one who needs to sell a landed property, a lot is going on.
How do I get a buyer? How do I get the best deal? Can I trust these agents? Should I advertise on the radio or social media? Where do I even start? Who can help me? How do I avoid scammers? Should I even sell this property? No, I need this money within 7 days.
Hey, slow down. Do you have a landed property, whether land or building, in a choice location, and you're looking forward to selling it quickly? 32FM The Laughter Station, in partnership with Soft Sands Property, is bringing an offer to you. Yes, one you cannot resist. If you have a house or land in a decent neighborhood with appropriate titles and you want it advertised on 32FM 94.9, free for quick sales, you can call or send a message to this number 091 646 15000 and 091 555 0055. Also, you can visit www.softsandproperty.com to express your interest. Terms and conditions apply. Soft Sands, created to house the world.
Mommy! Mommy! You want to watch YouTube?
Not my phone again. Every time YouTube.
Oh, mommy! You want to watch YouTube?
You want to watch YouTube? Not with my phone. Go and watch TV.
But there's no YouTube on our TV.
That's before. With the new 𝐿TEL Smart Router, for just 25,000 naira, you can watch YouTube and more on any TV, even our own TV.
Really? Yay! Thank you, Mommy.
Oh, you're welcome.
Turn any TV into a smart TV with the 𝐿TEL Smart Router and watch Nollywood movies, football, and lots more on YouTube with unlimited data for 30 days. 𝐿TEL, a reason to imagine.
One day now, one day. What no go rest deep in. Say you still fit go on holiday. Make you know they complain. Retire in grand style. Make it worth your while. Choose a partner that won't stress you out. Let's shape your future. Access ARM is working for you. Access ARM is investing for you. To live a life that you dream for you. We don't go for your head.
Let's help you shape the future you deserve. Access ARM Pensions. Future shaping.
This taste na banger, this taste na creamy rich, this taste na new Nescafe, original 3-in-1. Thickness, enjoyment, yumminess, happiness, delightfulness, deliciousness, smoothness. This taste na new Nescafe, original 3-in-1.
Enjoy more creamy richness with the new Nescafe Original 3-in-1 in the new pack. That's strong, finish strong.
It's the Champions League and Ilea special promo, and Cocoa Box is coming through with a twist. 10 lucky winners, 20,000 naira each. Yes, you heard right. This season, just play with 500 naira for your chance to win 20,000 naira.
And they stay there, and they say yeah.
Don't forget, dial the code *347*253# and follow the instructions. Simple. 500 naira to win 20,000 naira. Catch the live draws every weekday. 9:30 a.m. on Isheya, 2 p.m. on Call and Win, 3 p.m. on Kilatishe, and 5 p.m. on Ege with Sporting Crystal. It's the season of winning, and Cocoa Box is bringing the heat. Dial *347*253# or visit www.ko-kobox.fun to join the game. Cocoa Box draws. Play and win, win, win.
Feel better about your life.
32 FM 94.9, the antidote to depression.
Thank you for staying with us. You're welcome back to the show. This is the Break of Dawn Papers Review. You're on to 32 FM 94.9. Austin Ndumo joins me this morning for some of the analysis. Actually. Good morning, Austin.
Good morning, DENIKE, and thank you for having me.
It's great to have you join us this morning, sir. Welcome. Let's start off with the Vanguard newspaper. There's a story across board, actually, not just the Vanguard, that talks about Nigeria's debt heading to heading for 180 trillion naira, as the president is currently seeking fresh 34 trillion naira new loans. Now, it's not like these loans are unfounded. They're supposed to help with some issues. I think there was something I saw about pension, which I would want you to also, expand on. So he's saying that the proposed borrowing is crucial in light of fuel subsidy and its economic implication. There's a gap, the president says, a declining domestic demand, and it's become essential to pursue prudent economic borrowing to close the financial shortfall. I don't know what you make of this, the news across board.
Yes, in the correspondence to the National Assembly, I think there are about 4 categories of loans from that piece of communication. One of it was 750 billion. That is for the federal government obligation to the contributory pension scheme to clear the area. That law came into force in 2014, and since then the federal government has not been able to meet its sole obligation. It has not been fully implemented due to the inability of the federal government to contribute its quota. So the president is of the opinion that if over 700 billion is being assessed, that can also help to clear such a backlog. So the other foreign borrowing, according to the government, were tied to infrastructure. Now the issue is this. There is what we call MTEF, Medium Term Expenditure Framework. It's always presented, first of all, to the National Assembly, upon which an annual budget is predicated. It's a medium-term expenditure plan of the government between 2025 and 2026. When that is presented to the National Assembly and when the budget is presented, most of us Nigerians, we don't actually pay attention to them until the government now come up with this idea of borrowing. Then we continue to scream it all over the headline. We suffice to say that this borrowing were not actually new. They were already factored into the medium-term expenditure framework of the government vis-a-vis deficit financing of the budget, according to the government, in critical areas such as infrastructure, agriculture, healthcare, education, and what have you. Now, this is the issue. It is not wrong to borrow, but the problem we have had in Nigeria is that we have largely borrowed for consumption. By the time we are inching closer to 200 trillion borrowing, what can we say that we have shown for it? Not just this government alone, successive administration, and you discover that as the administrations are coming, the loan continue to increase because a lot of things are not being done properly. So if we borrow, for example, we channel them to productive venture, areas that can recreate itself in such a way that the loan can properly be serviced. For me, really, there's no point borrowing money, putting it into areas of the economy that the money cannot fully pay itself. So if you borrow money, for example, you must be able to channel it. So as far as I'm concerned, this element of borrowing, they are not just new borrowing. It's just like the federal government taking steps to implement what is said it will implement according to the medium-term expenditure framework that was presented to the National Assembly for approval, which was approved, and the 2025 national budget that was approved. So this borrowing content were part of the element within the budget and within the period of 2 years, 2025, 2026, for the medium-term expenditure framework.
All right. Let's take a look at security situation. There was a bombing, was it yesterday now in Abuja? And it says that the explosion was a suicide bombing attempt targeted at army barracks somewhere around Yanya Expressway, the Mogadishu Army Cantonment, around the Maraba Yanya Expressway, and the device detonated during the attempt, killing the bomber instantly and leaving a passerby injured on Monday afternoon. And so I just want to know what you make of this as regards, public security and even trying out places such as a cantonment where they know that they will be met with resistance? Are they getting even bolder in their pursuit of destabilizing the country security-wise?
Yeah, investigation is still ongoing. We have not seen evidence that suggests that this is like a terrorist attack, but it's like a clarion call anyway to porous security architecture within the country. If such infiltration or such penetration can happen within Abuja, it calls for a great worry. Thank God, before that fellow gained access, the time has come and the bomb exploded. What if access has been gotten and we have crowd of people within that area? It means that a lot of people will have lost their life. In the last administration and even this administration, one of their selling points in terms of security is that there were no longer bombings in Abuja, unlike what it used to be before. But if we see this, it calls for worry. So security operatives must do their job. Let's be more thorough in terms of security check. We were very lucky that that suicide bomber did not pass through the security check. If access had been got, like I said earlier, the rate of fatality will have been more than that.
Right.
So the government really need to work on in terms of our intelligence and what have you. It is not everybody, irrespective of the dressing, wherever form they disguise, we must nip them in the bud and ensure that our areas are safe. Because if this continues to happen, or if it repeats itself, you will continue to hear advisory restriction from international organization of the movement of their people, especially their formations in the country. So it's not good for us at all as a people, especially as it affects the Federal Capital Territory. So whatever needs to be done must be done as a matter of urgent national importance.
All right, because of our time, when the petrol subsidy was removed, the president promised to provide cheaper vehicles running on CNG, compressed natural gas, to cushion the effect of the subsidy withdrawal by his administration. Now, according to this report, it's nearly 2 years after that promise, and northern states for the last 2 years haven't exactly enjoyed the federal government CNG buses, and the commuters, according to the Vanguard, are groaning as regards the fact that they haven't had this promise, established for them.
Well, it's unfortunate that the way we conduct government business in the country, you see, I keep saying this, one of the major things that takes money away from the people, especially the low income earner, which largely the civil servant, is the cost of transportation. If you are able to cushion transportation to a reasonable level, life will be more meaningful for the people, for the everyday Nigerian. When I say the everyday Nigerian, you understand the point I mean. So that time, the president promised that, there will be CNG buses. Efforts were made. They bought some, but they were not enough. They were just like not really enough. They are not visible everywhere. So that is causing untold hardship. By now, we will have been able to achieve a substantial level. And this issue of bureaucracy in government has also contributed largely. When the president made that announcement, I think around, September, October of that year, that announcement was made. The program was actually launched. Between the time of that announcement and when funds eventually were released, the issue of weakening of our currency, inflation setting, and the amount of money when it was released eventually could not afford the quantity that the government actually expected. That is one area that I think the government can still work on. Look for a way to bring the cost of transportation down. Of course, you have removed subsidy, you have been able to save money, states are getting more money, the government is getting more money, except we want to deceive ourselves. There are some projects that are going on in the state that we have never seen before. That's the truth of the matter. But the people of Nigeria, they are still paying through their noses. So the government must work on that aspect.
But what about the general die down of, the CNG situation, the general facts that, do you think our people are embracing it, as silently as possible to make things easier for them. And do you think that the federal government has been able to circulate in terms of the CNG stations, the equipment required? Is it something that has now become easy for us to access?
That is the point I'm making. It is not visible all over the place anymore because the drive has gone down. By now, with the way the government, with the charisma the government started, by now, there should have been CNG buses all over. The people will embrace anything that can reduce the cost of transportation. But where are these buses? Government must provide these buses. Even state government must provide buses for people. We can't continue to live in a situation where our people are being shortchanged. You have taken the decision by removing subsidies. Fine. The economy might be better for it at the long run, not in the immediate. But the people are still paying through their noses. And the cost of transportation is also fueling the cost of goods and services in terms of inflationary trend. Look at food deflation, for example. The cost of moving food from the point of production to the market is a major issue on our highway today. So whatever the government wants to do, even if the government decides to borrow money or some of these elements of borrowing, channel them to CNG buses, channel them to buses, go to China, let them produce buses for you. These things are not rocket science. It is actually doable. And that will make life more meaningful for the common man. That's how it should be. And government, if they have relaxed in their effort, I think they should rekindle that particular consciousness by making sure that that promise of providing CNG buses, affordable buses, you must provide it in such a way that the cost of transportation can go down. It is not something that is too big for the government to achieve.
All right. Tribunal, lawyers file suit to compel senators to refund salaries for non-performance. Legislative lawyers under the aegis of Association of Legislative Drafting and Advocacy Practitioners, they've commenced a move to compel Nigerian senators to refund part of their salaries and allowances collected since 2023 over alleged poor performance. What do you make of this? Is this a possibility that this can go through to the point where senators can make maybe partial or total refund of salaries and allowances received during their period?
So if it's a good one, any opportunity to test our law, I'm always in for it. If we want to compare lawmakers, for example, to return money for lack of performance, what do we do to governors? What do we do to the president? I don't know whether you are getting the point I'm making. What is the minimum performance threshold that is expected of a senator, for example? What is the performance that we expect from a senator? The last time we checked, a senator cannot even construct roads. A senator cannot build infrastructure. There are so many infrastructure a senator cannot build, except you have to look for a way to pad the budget, insert it into the budget, and the project will come to your constituency. So for me, if that is the way to go, let's see what the court will say at the end of the day. But if you want to do it, I think for senator, for governors too, and for the president, and there must be minimum benchmark, a benchmark of a threshold of what performance should look like before we enforce it. Because the point really is that how do you determine that a senator is underperformed? You understand? If you want to determine that, you must also have access to available resources per time. So how do we marry that? But I wish we can do that. I would be most glad for it. But I want it to extend to not just the lawmaker, but we must also extend it to the governors and the president, because these are chief executive. These are people that draft budget. These are people that are in control of budget. These are people that implement budget, not the National Assembly. National Assembly members are just lawmakers. It is because of corruption that we talk about constituency project. It is not even constitutional.
Right.
So where do you expect them to get money to perform or whatever they have to do?
All right, we have to go on a break now. Just stay with us. We'll be back. 32 FM 94.9.
Stay tuned to 32 FM 94.9.
This taste na banger. This taste na creamy rich. This taste na new Nescafe. Original 3-in-1. Thickness, enjoyment, yumminess, happiness, delightfulness, deliciousness, smoothness. This taste na new Nescafe. Original 3-in-1.
Enjoy more creamy richness with the new Nescafe Original 3-in-1 in the new pack. That's strong. Finish strong.
One day now, one day. Walk no go rest deep. Say you still fit go on holiday. Make you know they complain. Retire in grand style. Make it worth your while. Choose a partner that won't stress you out. Let's shape your future. Access ARM is working for you. Access ARM is investing for you. To live a life that you dream for you. We don't go for your head.
Let's help you shape the future you deserve. Access ARM Pensions. Future shaping.
It's amazing how your child grows up before your eyes. Enable their thriving development and the care they need with the new NANKID 4 with HMOs to support your child's development, probiotics to help your child's digestion and development, and high-quality proteins to support age-appropriate growth. And all of these work together to support your child's development and growth today and tomorrow. NANKID 4. Nourish your child's potential.
Mommy! Mommy! You want to watch YouTube?
Not my phone again. Every time YouTube.
Oh, Mommy! You want to watch YouTube?
You want to watch YouTube? Not with my phone. Go and watch TV.
But there's no YouTube on our TV.
That's before. With the new 𝐿TEL Smart Router, for just 25,000 naira, you can watch YouTube and more on any TV. Even our own TV.
Really? Yay! Thank you, Mommy.
Oh, you're welcome.
Turn any TV into a smart TV with the 𝐿TEL Smart Router and watch Nollywood movies, football, and lots more on YouTube with unlimited data for 30 days. 𝐿TEL, a reason to imagine.
Mr. Teacher, please, what happens when children come to school? How is it that they leave home very neat and return looking so different?
Non-stop action, ma. All the learning and sports burn energy. So those sweat stains, dirty uniforms and shoes, they show that your kid has been very active.
Now, wow.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
Welcome to Bet Great. Bet on sports. Confirm bonus up to 350% and stand a chance to win with Bet Great. You can cash out and auto cash out whenever you want. So you're always in charge. Na casino game you want? You can pilot yourself with Bet Great on Aviator and much more. And be in cruise control. Join using promo code GOAL and get your welcome free bet. Experience these and much more in our shops or online on betgreat.com. Be great. Bet Great. Bet responsibly. Only 18+.
What a fantastic celebration it's been. Full of laughter, learning, fun, and unforgettable memories for our amazing children. But none of this would have been possible without the support of some very special people. A huge thank you to our generous sponsors who made this year's Smart Kids and Parents Hangout a big success. We say a heartfelt thank you to Ride Ross, Sunch Corn Sticks, Kellogg's, Hallelujah Oil, Fan Milk, Pop Cola, Boom, Techno Mobile, Design Bricks, Honorable Alawo, Honorable Shete, Honorable Olaleye, Viju, Accessible Publishers, Paris Bakery, 712 Restaurants, Bekta Jollof, Beluxi, Vital Products PLC. Your support put smiles on faces, filled bellies with snacks, and made our kids feel truly special. From the games to the gifts, to stories to songs, every moment mattered. You helped make it magical. We say thank you from 32FM 94.9. Thank you for making this year's Smart Kids and Parents Hangout a success. God bless you.
32 FM.
94.9.
And we're back. Thank you for staying with us. We're live on Facebook, 32FM 949 for here. You're on to the Break of Dawn Papers review on 32FM 94.9. We have a couple of comments to take on Facebook, but I'm going to be opening the phone lines quickly. The number to call is 0906 2000 949. Once again, 0906 2000 949. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, DENIKE.
Good morning, sir. Welcome.
Good morning, Austin. Tonya Brown. Well done to you both.
Thank you.
The last time I checked, the National Assembly is to make laws. I don't think there's any other responsibility attached to them. So, those who are saying the performance of the performance of senator or National Assembly member, I don't know how do you determine that? The National Assembly is not to consult with, except you're saying that there must be a bill, a quantum of bill that they are supposed to pass at every session, and failure to meet that bill, that means they are underperforming. Otherwise, I don't see how you could, sanction any senator or any National Assembly member for lack of performance. I don't understand. Anyway, that's by the way. And finally, I thought that with the removal of the fuel subsidy, the state says they are getting more money. Most of the states say they are no longer borrowing. They are no longer borrowing. At least I have from some northern states and few states, they have not been borrowing money. So what is the federal government borrowing money for? Is it that all these financial, generating agencies are not capable of getting money for this country, the customs, all the points of getting money for the federal, including taxes, that the government of APC, I'm sorry to say, have been borrowing. So if we don't borrow, we can't do anything. Is that so? Is that what we are trying to say now, that except Nigerian government borrows, nothing happens? I think we have to look at that very seriously. Leaders should think, wiser than borrowing. Look at 100 something trillion. I mean, what are we talking about? Trillions here.
Right.
God will help Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Amen. Thank you very much for calling. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
John Olariwaju is speaking from Agbou. On the issue of borrowing, of this recent, some Nigerians, just like they are celebrating the president of clear the help we have at IMF. And even I read it from some Nigerians that they are saying, oh, the federal government has cleared all our debt. What are we seeing now? Another borrowing bring up. So, to me, some Nigerians need to stop fooling themselves about this administration. Like last caller rightly said, we have many agencies that are bringing money to federal government. But even the subsidy alone that federal government removes, if you look at the price we are buying the fuel, even the time of Buhari that we even continue, it's not up to 200 naira. But how much are we buying for now? Going to 1,000 naira. The money is enough there. That is why they are just spending this money now. Maybe they are using the logic or strategy that they don't want Nigeria to know that there is money in federal with them. Maybe they don't want us to know that they have plenty money. That's why they will just decide to go abroad so that it will look to Nigeria that, oh, we don't have money. We have enough money not to be borrowed. We have everything that will not allow us not to be borrowed again. So after you borrow, what will happen? Nothing. You will not see anything. No value for borrowing. So to me, they are just pretending as if we don't have money. That's what I can see. Not that they cannot afford not to be borrowed. But they just want us to know that we don't have money.
All right, thank you. Austin, would you want to speak to that? Do we have enough money that we do not need to borrow, considering fuel subsidy, the amount of money? Although you did touch on that, the states their budgets are bigger now and larger. So I want you to touch on, some of the speculations that we have enough money and we don't need to borrow.
Yes, I don't think we have enough money. We do not have enough money. How much can we generate? We have a budget of over 50 trillion, for example. So we do not have enough money, but we must work towards reducing our debt. Like one of the callers said, it is not every time you rush to borrow, for example. Because if you look at the quantum of debt that we are owing, let's look at it vis-a-vis projects. Let's look at it vis-a-vis infrastructure. You just discovered that close to 90% of that 180 something trillion were on consumption, which will never help any nation.
All right.
Then for
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Tolu from UI.
Yes,
You
please
see,
go on.
I totally I subscribe to the analysis of our guest that we don't borrow for consumption, and that is why I don't like what this federal government is doing, because this debt burden is too much. Don't let us forget that they be servicing this debt is another burden entirely. So as far as I'm concerned, it is high time they think outside the box and diversify the economy. Let them work on this means of insecurity so that they can encourage local production. See, we are more of a consuming nation as we speak, and that is bad for us as a nation. Thank you. Good morning.
All right, thank you very much. Facebook comments. Miriam Yetune says Nigeria's increasing debt burden is alarming. The proposed loan amount will likely exacerbate the country's financial woes, especially since previous loans hasn't yielded tangible benefits. It's crucial to prioritize transparency and accountability in loan utilization to ensure Nigerians benefit from borrowed funds. I take Tolokwademi's comment. Says borrowing in government is not a crime but can only become an issue when borrowing for consumption. There is no justification whatsoever for the action of the federal government. Oluseun Ruth says, good morning 32 FM. The excessive borrowing by the APC federal government is really getting out of hand because the various money borrowed isn't being felt in the nation's economy. When exactly can we get it right in this country? It seems there's nothing we can say that can stop them from borrowing again. I just hope they use the money to stabilize the economy and not the other way around. I'll just take one final comment because it's time to go. Okedun says the suicide bomber have started again, especially when this administration is preparing for a 2-year celebration. The military will have to step up security checks again throughout the country. The miscreants must be brought to justice. Let Nigerians see something and say something. Don't wait until evil is perpetrated. All right, it's time for us to go. Thank you so much, Austin Odumo, for your analysis this morning. Thank you, sir. All right, it's time for us to step out of the studio. For me to step out of the studio. Coming up next is the Smart Kids Show at exactly 7:15 a.m. I am at DENIKE at Dimuwago, and the Smart Kids Show comes up next.